Hi, I'm Bruno from The Foreigner. We're here again in my kitchen in Oakland, Florida. Here we are, is Foreigner Domestic number 2. So let's go over your bag, okay? Since you just got a meal kit, let's go make sure that we have everything that you need to cook this meal. And I'll pull everything in order, all right? You are gonna have, you have here your dressing for your salad. You have your radishes for your salad. Your lettuce, and we're going to be talking lots about this produce that we got for this time around. This beautiful stuff. You're going to have your asparagus, your carrots, your carrot rub. We're going to talk about that as well. And we're going to go over now your entree. I'm going to go over the entree for your Easter menu, which is going to start real soon. So here are your potatoes. Here are your Brussel sprouts. Here's your sage and garlic. Here's your garlic, rosemary, and thyme. Here's the pork tenderloin, which we already brined it for you, so you're halfway there. And we do that to take some of the guessing work out of it. I'm going to start issuing some recipes for the brine as well, in case you ever want to dive into that. It's super fun, it's easy, but at the same time, I want to make sure we do a lot of that for you, okay? We're also going to have the peas for your salad, your chives, your butter, I got it here for you, your maple brush that we have here for your pork, and some olive oil. So, oh, and also some of the really cool apple sauce that we make, which we're gonna talk about that. All right, so let's go in order like we always try to do, right? We always try to give you everything in order that you're going to be doing. So the first thing that you should be doing, as you can tell here, I have a pot of water going. For those of you that did it last week, you probably know it by now. We're going to be doing some of the big pot blanching for your green vegetables, for your peas, for your asparagus, and for your Brussels sprouts. Super easy. And also, I have our oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Straightforward. It's going to be one temperature for all your meal. Okay? All right. One thing that I really want to make sure everybody's clear on are the tools that we're going to need for tonight's video. So, a virtual class, I should say. Again, big fan of my spoon. Always cook with it. Something about a size. It's a nice deep cup. Sturdy. Fits on my hand. I hold it like a pencil. Serves for basting, picking up things without squishing them and squeezing the juice of things out of it. Pair of tongs. I rarely use it, and for the same reason, I rather pick up things with my spoon. For me to pick up with this is because it's my last resource. Nice chef's knife that you trust, and it's sharp. Sharp is actually safer for you to use a knife than if it's dull. Dull may provide some false security, and you may end up getting hurt. Something for your fish, vegetables out of your hot water on a pan onto a nice bath. Extra salt, black pepper. I have always on a little grinder like this. This is not expensive. I strongly recommend you doing something like this. Get a small pepper grinder next to your stove. Rags, you're gonna see multiple rags. They're all yellow and white. They're dry, always dry, never wet. Dry rags means that your hands are gonna be oftentimes safe and not getting burnt. Wet, you're gonna get burnt, 100%. And if you're not cooking with wine, for those of us that are of age, you're doing it wrong. Cook with a little bit of wine, makes it easier for you. The other tool that you can't hear, but it's mainly because I want to make sure you can hear me well on every single aspect of this video, is that I sent you a playlist for you to listen to either as you cook or as you eat your meal afterwards. Something that I truly enjoy is music, and it's another common denominator between us all. So, it's here for you. Hope you enjoyed it. All right, we're back. So we're getting some things ready here for you. And the first thing you're gonna be doing is the pork. Just so you know, you're gonna see me with gloves from time to time. I know that you may not have gloves at your home, even on these crazy times that we're living right now. But mostly I'm wearing gloves so I can expedite a couple things. And every so often, you may not see me, but I'm washing my hands constantly. The other thing too that I'm gonna tell you, the produce that you got is fantastic and it's beautiful. A lot of local stuff, thanks to Lake Meadow Naturals, Pharmacy, Orlando, Sprout Urban, lots of fantastic purveyors that we have. So I washed the stuff that you got. I want you to wash it again. Everything but the lettuce. That has been washed maybe way too much, so please wash your vegetables. So here we go, we're gonna go for the pork. The pork is gonna come over here. I'm gonna do one bag. I'm gonna put into a surface. And that pork is gonna be just literally one tenderloin. It's more than enough for 2 people, okay? I have this meal before. And we're gonna be slightly seasoning it with salt and pepper. I like to do this on top of a paper towel that kind of gets all the moisture out of your way. Again, those of you that were with us last time, we have a carbon steel pan, or a French pan as I like to call. Anything that is a great conductor of heat, I recommend you get, like a cast iron or something like that. So we're gonna go ahead over here and start. So you're gonna come with me in a second. All right, so here we are, back to the stove. So, like last time, and I know there's some people that weren't here last time, I cook a lot with a spoon. This is called a Kuhn spoon, K-U-N-Z. It's named after a great chef that, sad enough, passed away about a month or 2 ago. Chef of the famed L'Espinasse in New York, and great cafe as well. Nonetheless, great utensil for you to have in your kitchen. I have my French pan over here, or a cast iron skillet works, or any saute pan that you enjoy. A pan of this shape. We're gonna start. The pan is hot. I got it cranking, okay? And the pork set out for a good 10-15 minutes. That's called tempering. It's gonna be at room temperature, so there's not such a shock from the cold protein onto the hot pan. So we're gonna go straight with the olive oil. It is hot, maybe almost a little too hot. And I'm gonna go here and get the pork right on there. And the goal for this, we are searing it very hard. It's like a medium to high heat, okay? And the oil is nice and hot. We're gonna sear every side of the pork tenderloin, and that seals the juices in there as the pork cooks. Very simple. Again, my oven is on already. We're gonna sear all sides. I'm gonna throw in a nice knob of butter, my herbs and garlic, and pop it in the oven. All right, so I seared my pork on every side. As you can tell, there's nice color on every side of the pork. All right? And right before the pork goes in the oven, I'm gonna go in here on my butter and get a nice knob of butter right on the pan. There's this, a little bag with thyme, rosemary, and garlic. It's labeled for pork. As the butter froths, we're gonna dump all the contents of the bag, the thyme, the rosemary, and the garlic. And you wanna hear that. The snackle, crackle, and pop right there, right? And follow your instinct. I don't know if you can tell over here, there's not that much butter there. go more. The butter is to keep the pork nice and juicy. Alright? You give it to promote even cooking with the flavoring that you're having here. And there's a reason for it. I'm gonna tilt a little bit and I'm gonna baste it. Give it a little bit of love with all the oil from the herbs and the garlic and all the good stuff that came out. And in the oven it goes. This is gonna be about an 8-minute cook time. And then we're gonna check it again and again. Don't trust yourself. Turn on your timer. We have a beautiful timer here. One of my favorites, probably my favorite feature. Go with it. In 8 minutes we'll check. All right, so we're gonna be doing the sweet potatoes now. We're gonna be going with the main dish with the pork. So you have the potatoes here, right? In the bag. And before I open them up, I'm gonna go over the whole thing. You have another bag here with sage and garlic, whole cloves of garlic. You still have some of the olive oil and some of your butter. Keep your butter out, because throughout the whole thing, don't keep putting the butter in and out. Keep the butter out. Tempered butter is key. Okay. Before we started, I got another one of my French pans or a cast iron skillet or saute pan, whatever it is. It's nice and hot. It's medium to high heat right now. We're gonna start off with the olive oil. Then we're gonna go with the potatoes. And then after the potatoes are on the olive oil for a little bit, we're gonna season with salt and pepper. And then butter, sage, and garlic. You see a pattern there. With that said, the best thing that I'm trying to teach you is extraction of flavors through mediums of fat. Highly scientific, right? So the fat, the olive oil and the butter, we're gonna get together at a high heat, and they're gonna fry up different things there in the pan, from the potatoes to the sage and garlic. And those sage and garlic, they're gonna release oils. They're gonna make your potatoes delicious. Got it? My pan is hot. Here we go. We're gonna go with the olive. Actually, let me open up first. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Get ready. You know what I mean? Be ready. Rag. Hold in the pan. Oil. I have a nice film of oil. The potatoes are going right into the olive oil. Kind of covering the pan there. Ever so perfectly, my friends. This is good stuff. Okay? I'm gonna season it with some salt. I'm gonna put it back here on the stove. Some of the black pepper. And if you have black pepper that's been ground already, just season high so you have nice coverage. Okay? That's going real nice. Alright? I just want a little bit of color. It's not gonna cook like this. My oven is on at 425, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna be treating this sweet potato much like a piece of meat, much like a steak. We're gonna be searing on both sides, and once we flip to the second side, and we get a little bit of color, and then the butter and the herbs and the garlic is added, in the oven it goes to provide a nice even cooking. Okay? So. And in actuality, we're mainly, what we're doing here, we're roasting it. That's it, okay? So, I have an okay color going here. Look at my color. You see that? You got, it's blistering a little bit. And you want some of that char. You want some of the caramelization. It's good. You're not burning it. You're just, this one, it's funny, as cooks sometimes when we burn things, as we're learning, chef goes, you burned something. No, we didn't burn anything, chef. We're caramelizing. But honestly, this time we're here, we really are caramelizing. And as we flip it, we put it back on the burner. Okay, so as you can tell, I have a nice color on the potatoes, and I want that color. All right, I'm gonna crush my garlic right there. So garlic in the pan it goes. Sage in the pan it goes. Here or not, I got my spoon here. Okay. And in the oven it goes. Alright, now we're going to concentrate on every aspect of your vegetables, okay? We're first going to blanch the green ones and we're going to start roasting your carrots. So, there are two vegetables that we're going to be blanching for your salads. It's going to be the asparagus and the peas, okay? We're trying to celebrate Easter, that means spring. So here we are, okay? In the asparagus, you're going to get your stalks and you're going to cut them in whatever thickness you want, okay? I have them on these little coins over here. It doesn't mean that I'm better or worse than anybody. It's just that I like them like this. There's a reason I'm giving you asparagus, not just because it's in season, okay? But also because I want some crunch. So these asparagus are gonna be very much almost under, strong al dente on them. The al dente is strong on this one can say. All right, so I cut them all up. I have them ready. In a second, let's go into the peas. My water's been boiling. I have my ice bath ready, which we're gonna talk about that, okay? My peas, I'm not gonna cut anything on them, all right? The one thing that we can do, if you really wanna get technical, you gotta take some of that extra little, the connection to the pod of the pea, okay? And there's a reason that I'm not cutting it. Oh, that's the timer for my pork. Stay right there. We're gonna get to watch this together. So, the degree oven, after it has been tempered, then onto the saute pan, totally sear on all sides, and then baste it with butter, with garlic, rosemary, and thyme. So, this is how rigid the meat is, okay? The more rigid the meat, the more cooked it is. So, this is almost there, but I'm gonna say it needs a good 5 minutes longer to be safe. So I'm gonna go back in the oven again. And again, I trust my timer, all right? The other thing I'm gonna tell you, we will add up the time for you on how long the pork took in the 425 degree oven. So calm down. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna get through this. You're not gonna be freaking out because you're cooking pork and everybody is so concerned about pork. So my asparagus is cut up. My peas are ready to go. Let's talk about your Brussels sprouts, okay? Brussels sprouts are delicious. Back in the day, people give a little bit of a bad rap, but I always love them. So Brussels sprouts, these are fresh. These are local here from Florida. Fantastic stuff. Barely have been refrigerated. So you're gonna take some of that oxidized root from the pod and take it off. Just clean it up a little bit. Make your guests feel like you care for them, right? I know we all locked up with these people. They probably by now wonder, what do you really think about them? Be nice to them. Cut it up a little bit. And then you're gonna get it again. Right down the middle. Make it flat, okay? To all of them. Your pot is boiling. Your pork is in the oven. We're gonna do all of those things, okay? And before we get there, let's talk about our carrots. All right? The carrots are here. These are beautiful heirloom carrots. All different colors and flavors. Typical orange, your purple, your sun carrot, they're all here. We're gonna put them on this small saute pan. You're gonna find your cup that says carrot rub. There are multiple spices here, cumin, black pepper, salt, there's some honey and some olive oil. You're gonna mix them to make sure that the honey and the olive oil are here. The carrots are thin, folks. They're small, they're beautiful yellow carrots. You're gonna get them nice and mixed with this rub, all right? And once they're mixed, there's already salt in here. You don't have to do any of this. You don't have to add salt, I should say, sorry. You just mix it with the rub, all right? In the oven it goes. And we check when the pork beeps, okay? So, let's do our green vegetables. Let's talk about big pot blanching. Big pot blanching, no matter how big, how little vegetables you want. This is very, very little. Get a big pot like this. Get the water nice and boiling. And you're gonna put enough salt to make the water taste like the ocean. Okay, that's gonna preserve all the chlorophyll of your beautiful green vegetables. And before you even begin to do any of this, you're gonna have your ice bath in here. This ice water, bit of ice and water, pretty logic. And it's right next to my pot, okay? And I have my tool to fish it out. So before any of these vegetables go in the water, we gotta do the salt. Always safe, dry rag. Iodized salt doesn't season evenly, doesn't melt evenly, none about it's good. So, it's good. Nice and seasoned. I'm gonna put my top there again to come to a boil, okay? And each one of these vegetables has different temperatures, has different, cooking times, I should say. So the asparagus is gonna go super quick. And then after the asparagus, we're gonna go into the snap peas. They're gonna go about a minute. And the Brussels sprouts are gonna go a minute as well, okay? So, fear not. All right. The pork is perfect. So, I want you to think about this with me, okay? And I know I got my carrots in there, so don't worry. We're gonna add 2 more minutes for the carrots, okay? This guy over here is right by well. It's gonna carry over. So I have it over here waiting for me. I have a nice lined pan, and you've seen me before using plates. Use whatever, put a little paper towel in there, and that's gonna keep the meat resting for later use, okay? We're gonna keep it right here. So you know that I'm not doing anything yet, okay? In the pan, keep it. Don't discard anything in the pan. Just put it away from you, nice and safely. We have 20 seconds left on the carrots. Let me look at the carrots. Actually gonna need five minutes on the carrots, okay? So, here we are. Let's go on to our green vegetables. Let's use asparagus first. A pot, still boiling. My ice water bath is here. We're gonna take off the top of the pot. I'm gonna put everything here. All my asparagus. The asparagus, literally the reason that I chose it, not just because it's in season and it's crunchy, but it's because I want the asparagus to go to give it a crunch, much like a crouton, okay? Let's get rid of the bread for a minute here. And it's going, and we're gonna go for 30 seconds here, all right? My ice water bath is here, and it's ready to go as well. And let's pull it out. And I think did just perfect, to be quite frank with you. And I don't mean to talk my back towards you. As I fish everything out, and in the ice water goes. I have another one of these guys here, and these are gonna hold my green vegetables, okay? So we're gonna keep our board nice and organized, and I'll tell you something that we used to be told as cooks: messy board, messy mind, which means this is a reflection of your mind. This is how your mind should be working all the time, right? And it just cooks stuff. Doesn't necessarily mean that we gotta follow this at home. I know at home things are different. There's dogs walking around, there are kids crying, there's multiple things going on. Virtual school nowadays, right? Everybody's taking care of virtual school. I know I am. So we have our water boiling here. We're gonna go with the peas for our salad. And these are gonna go for 30 to 40 seconds. And we're gonna do it, okay? So let's talk about Lake Meadow Naturals, Pharmacy Orlando, Barefoot Farms, and Frog Song up in Gainesville. Beautiful farms, beautiful dealers, they have great food. And most of everything that you see over here tonight, pointed out what it's not, comes from these folks. So the peas are about there now. 30 seconds. What I'm trying to do with the peas, I just want to take some of the bite off. All I'm trying to do, take a little bit of the bite off. You're not trying to do much to them, okay? They're going to be dressed later with the dressing that we have, that we're going to give to you. They're going to be displayed a different way. I'm going to show you. It's actually something really cool and very easy to be accomplished by you, by the home cook, okay? Let me see how we're doing here. My water is almost boiling, okay? And we're gonna do the Brussels sprouts, all right? So these guys, the Brussels sprouts, absolutely delicious. They're from Barefoot Farms. They have great flavor on them, and they go fantastic with the pork and the sweet potatoes, all right? So here we go. My water is boiling. 1, 2, 3. That's going to be a good 45 seconds to a minute. Okay? I want a good bite on them, but I don't want them to taste raw. Alright? You want body. No. You don't want it to taste like you're biting an apple. You don't want the texture in your mouth. You want something really, really flavorful, and yet very few things have been done to that one. Let the vegetable speak for itself. Don't hide much from it. Okay? While the Brussels sprouts are cooking, I'm going to start fishing out my stuff out of my ice water bath here. And by now, we are almost done. Okay. In a second, I'm going to check on my carrots. And we're done. So it's about a minute on the Brussels sprouts, 45 seconds to a minute. Okay. And they are now being shocked. So give me a second and we're gonna get back to check the carrots. All right, so let's check on the potatoes. So the potatoes are about 5 minutes in there with the butter, the garlic, and the sage, right? They're 425. They're perfect. And again, I know it by touching, and you know it too, because there's just enough give. You gotta think about the texture of a great French fry, right? So they're gonna rest here. I'm gonna put them to another one of those plates. with a beautiful little paper towel just to catch some of the fat from the potato. Do not throw away this fat or this pan. Don't discard it. You're gonna put it back onto the stove, untouched, and not on a burner that is hot. You're just gonna let it sit there because we're gonna bring back up the potato to temperature when everything is ready. Okay? Hold tight. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna go over a couple things that we've done with you already, just so you know where you should be. Okay? And as we talk about this all the time to you folks, watch the video first. Always watch it first. Get yourself familiarized with what's going to go on, so you're ready to go. Okay. So as far as your entree goes, you have your sweet potatoes. They're done. We put them on a plate lined with paper towel, and I did this very much without using it at home. Okay, not in a professional setting. My Brussels sprouts are blanched. My pork has been resting over here with the oven on still, on paper towel. We have the cool applesauce we made, and we have allspice maple brush that we have for you folks, and that's gonna go on the pork. Okay. Also, lots of chives for your vegetables to get some of the brightness. All right. So here we go. We have here your pan for the potatoes. We're gonna put the potatoes back in here. For your pork, I selected that we would have a new pan there, okay? The oven is on. It's nice and hot. My pork is still hot, but I don't wanna put my brush on it while the pork is cooking, but literally, you just make the pork hot. That's all you're doing, okay? So, we're gonna put the pork on the pan, and we're gonna drizzle. And with the spoon, with the back of a spoon, we're gonna brush. You're gonna put the maple brush on it. And it's not really a sauce. It's almost like it's gonna give a little bit of a lacquer on it, okay? But nothing too harsh. And in the oven it goes. And all you're trying to do, the only thing you're trying to do, is make your pork hot and your maple brush hot. That's it. Your pork's already cooked, right? And we put it back in there. It was almost hot still. Just make it nice and hot for you, okay? On the same pan for your sweet potatoes, you're gonna put them back in there and make it nice and hot again. Pop them in there. Both of these things are in the oven. They're not gonna go in the oven for longer than 3 minutes. That's it. You're in the home stretch here, guys. Okay? Stay with me. So, the one thing too that I was gonna tell you, let's talk about our Brussels sprouts. With a saute pan, nice and hot. We're gonna do butter and olive oil. Now, the one thing I was gonna advise you, for any reason you have bacon fat that you save from the morning breakfast, use that on your Brussels sprouts. It's absolutely delicious. Your saute pan should be hot in a minute here. Your Brussels sprouts are here. And we're gonna make it all happen for you in a matter of seconds. This is gonna be awfully quick, okay? So, here's a nice film of olive oil. And as you can tell, you're not pan frying anything. All you're really doing is covering the bottom of the pan with a nice thick film of olive oil. Make it nice and hot. And I'm gonna move over here in a second so you can see the butter. All right, so our Brussels sprouts are already blanched, right? Our oil was nice and hot. Actually, it's a little too hot, so we're gonna go take it out. And And we're gonna give them color gently without being too much oil. Get your pair of tongs and flip them. Get that white side of them in there, okay? As they're going in, and the pan frying in there, with your trusty spoon, nice knob of butter. And while they're finishing, see how the color is? You're gonna put them in here, leave it to the side because we just wanted to give the nice, beautiful sear that you have. Season them with your salt, season high, and with your pepper. Put them back on the burner. And you're going to use your chives. Beautiful, beautiful fresh chives that we cut for you. They have nice color. They still maintain the green. They have the nice red right there. I mean, caramel. Nice and seared. And they're ready for you. Okay, so here's my pork, and it looks absolutely spectacular. It's nice and firm. There's a good lacquer. Do you see what I'm talking about, the lacquer? On the maple brush. Let it rest. You're not touching that thing for the next 5 minutes with no fire, no nothing. Okay? Just let it sit down. Be careful. These pans in the oven, they're all the way hot. Be careful. And I'm gonna get over here my sweet potatoes. Okay? Leave them be here for a moment. You want to grab your chives. Chives and potatoes, right? You hear that? That is gorgeous stuff, guys. That's the noise of the chives touching that brown butter. Okay? So we're gonna let the rest. And a very important thing too, okay? You haven't seen me doing this, but I'm gonna do it in front of you because there's nothing to hide here, okay? We're gonna get a little bit of this paper towel that I use, and this is very much a restaurant thing, okay? It's not your typical Bounty or Viva super nice fancy paper towel. I'm gonna put them in here, and gently and carefully, I'm gonna get the sweet potatoes, the roasted slice of sweet potatoes, skin on. You want some of that. I don't know if you're noticing, but there's lots of skin and bright colors. We're trying to get all those very healthy antioxidants for you here. Try to think of everything that's going on out there. Okay? Okay, so we're gonna start doing our salad. My pork is resting. What I did with the potatoes and the Brussels sprouts, I keep my most awesome warming vessel, my microwave. It's off, but I keep it here. It's away from any wind, any AC, any nothing. It's nice and hot. So I'm gonna go ahead and plate your salad for you, okay? First thing you're gonna do, you're gonna get a mixing bowl, your dressing, which is a lemon vinaigrette, and your greens. These greens, guys, they're so fresh from Barefoot Farms and Frog Song. So there's a mix of them both. There's red kale, there is some red oak lettuce, there's some romaine. It's beautiful stuff, okay? So always, 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 always season your salad. Why not? Just because it's not a piece of steak, it's not a ribeye, you're not gonna put any salt in there, it doesn't deserve any love. Be nice. Here we go. A little salt, pepper. You have a dressing here. We're not gonna do that yet, okay? So let's talk about all the things that are gonna go in your salad, okay? Oops, little asparagus fell right there. So this one's a little cup. It's the radishes. They're in the water so they don't turn. I wanted to have them cut for you in some sort of shape, okay? So it'll be easy for you to cut later. The water is acidulated water. What does that mean, chef? There's a little bit of lemon and water in there, and we keep it nice and cold for you. So these are obviously raw. What we're gonna do, we're gonna cut them in whatever way you want. A little thicker, slices this way. You're gonna go slices this way. Guys, it's your salad. Own it. Just be careful using a knife. Okay? Now I'm gonna move them here. Let's talk about the peas. Something that I always wanted to do is to include some sort of peas on an Easter salad, right? It's Easter. You wanna do something springy. So let's get the belly of the pea pod. If you get adventures, very carefully so you don't pierce through it. Just get a little bit there, and then with your fingers. Let me get close to you. Let me get close to you. With your fingers, you're gonna go and you open it. And this is gonna look freaking awesome on the plate. It's gonna look super cool. I'm gonna do it here, close to you guys again. Look, just bust it a little bit right down the seam. Right down the seam a little bit. And you're gonna open it. Look at that thing. It looks like a green giant label. It is so absolutely photographically perfect. And you're gonna go in here. This is when your daughter that doesn't eat peas is gonna look, ooh, those look cool. Yes, because that's how peas come. They come in this magical little pod. This is getting way too excited about it. So let me show you another way that you can do it. You have this way, okay? Which I'm gonna do one more because we have 2 dishes to plate. Okay? Or, what you can do as well, it's right here. You can cut them in different shapes. Cut them in a bias, which means we're gonna cut them like that, okay? One is laying down and the other one is going diagonal. So knife diagonal, piece straight. Piece straight, knife diagonal. Piece straight, knife diagonal. Okay? So it's just to provide you with a little bit of texture on this awesome salad you're about to have with beautiful, fresh vegetables. Your asparagus, they are ready to go. They're absolutely fantastic in little coins, right? Okay. Now your carrots, man, those are delicious. So I recommend you guys cutting them long ways for a very dramatic effect. Okay, so you're gonna cut them long, nice and carefully, so you are not cutting yourself. Look how beautiful and the contrast that you have on the vegetable. Really cool stuff. Okay, and you have different colors, and please, if you get a bag that's all purple or all red, it's because we don't have the ability to really see how much we have of each. Okay, but I assure you, this is fantastic quality of greens and vegetables. So we're gonna have your 2 plates here. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and put on a piece of glove so we can get you going. Here's your dressing. The salad's already seasoned with salt and pepper. I gave you enough dressing for a salad for 2. Now, for the greens that I had. Now, if you say, man, the guy gave me too much, if you gave me too much dressing, Don't put all of it, okay? So I'm gonna put just enough here. Divvy up between your friends here. Be gentle. These people are your family. I'm sure they put up with crazy stuff from you. Be nice. My family puts up with some nonsense from me, let me tell you. Okay? So these guys are here. Alright? So we are gonna go and throw some carrots on different ways. And we're gonna throw some radishes here and there. And all the radishes and the carrots, they have different textures, they have different flavors, they have different everything for that matter. And we have the peas one way. You have the cool pea pod for to impress your friends and family there. And you're also gonna have your asparagus. The asparagus, I'll be honest with you, it's mainly for a crunch. It has a good bitter-like taste on it. So, really nice salad for you there. Okay? I soaked everything in there. Never on the floor. Be nice to the people that sweep your floor, right? So your salad here is waiting for you. Let's talk about our entree now. Both of our plates are here waiting for you. The pork, very much hot, ready to go. Okay? I'm going to have you go on over here. Let me get my sweet potatoes and my Brussels sprouts. And I'm going to go into our cool applesauce. So there's applesauce, there's Madeira, there's white port, among other wines, lemon, honey, there's beautiful stuff. I'm gonna play this two ways. I'm gonna play one way that is just center, dead center, a little blob. And I'm gonna play a little artsy-fartsy way for you to see, okay? So, you're gonna put it on your belly of your spoon, sideways, right there. And then with this part of the spoon, you're gonna go in the center and drag. But chef, I don't wanna do any of that. I just wanna eat. Cool, dude. Go with it. Okay? So let's get some potatoes here for you. They're charred. They're gonna have great flavor. All right? Here are your Brussels sprouts, all throughout your potatoes there. Nice and pretty. Beautiful stuff, really. And then, and touch your hand, guys. Don't be afraid. So everything is now ready, right? You're gonna go over here and you're gonna cut your pork tenderloin on a bias. And look at that. It's absolutely perfect. Going here, right on the sauce. So you have an applesauce on the bottom there, loaded with great spirits. You have the maple, you have the balsamic with the maple and the allspices. Awesome good flavor. And you also gonna have your sweet potato on sage and garlic, your Brussels sprouts, nice and caramelized. So lots of good flavor. So you have two different styles here, but nothing that too different. Let's do this right now. Let's get a little bit of a taste test, shall we? Hold the tick. Last time I didn't get to taste anything, to be quite frank with you. It was a little later than expected. So I want to taste my salad. I was very curious about these greens there. They're really nice. They're awesome. Forrest Gump said so, right? Pardon me. Go together like peas and carrots. And that's kind of the pork. Perfect. So the pork is tender, is well seasoned. I know what you can taste, but you're gonna be able to taste yours. And I'm very excited because it's something that a lot of people feel intimidated by it. Don't be intimidated by it. Pork is great. It's actually one of the cleanest meats nowadays. It's raised in cement and concrete. So you're gonna have a beautiful salad with Easter colors, loaded with spring vegetables. You're gonna have awesome dish of pork with touches of maple. Your potatoes fantastic too. Your apple sauce is a lot different than Mima's apple sauce. Let me tell you, it's good stuff. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope to see you again soon.